This is the best time to buy Render, and I will tell you why. Hello everybody, welcome to the channel. My name is Doug. In today's video I'm going to explain to you why buying Render now might be the best decision of your life, and also give you my Render bull run top price prediction. So let's start this video off with what has been going on during this epic week with a lot of FUD. So the first thing that happened was 4 or 5 days ago, basically even on Monday, DeepSeek. DeepSeek is a Chinese AI app that has the world talking about. Basically, some kid in China, he made an AI app called DeepSeek, and he spread the rumor that he had only spent $10 million on the training. And of course, everybody knows at the bottom, there's always as much FUD as possible to actually get retail selling stuff. And retail sold a lot, because if you didn't know, Nvidia, basically the biggest AI company in the world, basically sheds almost 600 billion in market cap. The biggest one-day loss in US history. Like 600 billion is so much money, and they lost it all in a single day just because of the DeepSeek AI FUD. And this was pure FUD, because what people need to understand is the money that Nvidia is making through GPU and AI is for the operating cost of the AI. It's not for the training, it's the operating cost. And DeepSeek, it needs operating costs. It needs to collect as much data. That's why the app even went down, because it was just made out of thin air. But everybody of course believed it. But what was really nice to see is this message from the Render CEO himself on the day itself. What he basically said about DeepSeek was that it was not about 2,800 GPUs, not that much, and it only took 5-6 million to pre-train this model. Once the 5-6 million is spent, it can now reason and do continuously useful open AI level work without further training, running on many millions of consumer grade GPUs. The money is in compute and on the most available cheapest hardware that serves the world at scale. So basically what he's saying is that the technology from DeepSeek was very nice, but it would still need many millions of consumer grade GPUs to run and operate the AI. Which network has millions of consumer GPUs? It's the Render network. It's basically the biggest decentralized GPU network in the world. It's a top AI coin. And still, I saw so many people FUD Render on Monday. Render is done. AI is done. They really don't understand it. And this is what I sometimes hate about Render holders, is that they FUD their own bags. Like for example, XRP didn't move for 7 years. Render did a 35x in 2023, but XRP didn't move for 7 years and they still didn't FUD their bags. But when Render goes down 20%, everybody FUDs their bag. And a lot of people always tell me, well Doc, you're talking like this because you bought at 40 cents. I bought after it came down from $8.76 to 40 cents. A 99% decrease almost. So yeah, I had diamond hands, I knew what I invested in, and I'm still going to explain everyone right now why buying Render right now could be the best decision for the next 2 months. Because if you didn't know yet, Nvidia earnings is still a big thing. It's on February 26th, is the biggest AI event of the year. Basically Nvidia fourth quarter financial results. This is where they will tell everybody how much money they made in 2024. They will tell everybody that 2025 is fully booked. Every GPU already been sold. They will just shock everybody again. Everybody already forgot about DeepSeek. Now they will even probably bring other FUD as well to get consumers to sell. Because let me show you one more time how big Nvidia earnings has been for Render. Last year, Render was basically, let me even put this in so we're at the time frame of today. February 1st, Render was trading at $4.20. In literally 35 days, it went up to $13 from $4.20 to 13.6 in 35 days. Like, people always think it's over. It only takes a month to pump. The same thing happened in November. I was posting on Twitter, here on YouTube, buy as much as possible between $4.50 and $4.10. Which was basically the absolute bottom. Then in 28 days, so less than a month, it went to $11.8, increasing 200%. And right now, we're at the beginning of the next Nvidia earnings as well, which is basically in 25 days. Like, people don't understand. Crypto is usually months of downtrend, 3-4 weeks of uptrend, months of downtrend, and then it goes up again. So crypto isn't only up, but as you can see, over the last year, Render had such amazing uptrends during the Nvidia earnings. Like, every time it pushed, like in 2-3 weeks, an insane amount of percentage, and this is basically free money. And yet, people are still FUDing here at the bottom. Nobody FUDed here at 11.8. Render was the greatest coin ever. But when you get a 50% discount, everybody FUDs. You shouldn't FUD here. This is where you build strong communities, strong support. And at the end of the video, I will tell you my bull run top price prediction for March even. I will tell you and also the resistances. So you definitely want to watch this entire video if you want to make as much money as possible with Render. And now, let's move on with the second part of this video, which is my buying selling targets for Render, short-term and long-term price prediction. But before I do this, if you want to claim a $1,000 airdrop, just go to the top of the description and click on the maxilendings.crypto link. Once you're at the link, you will see Maxi and .crypto, my name, and you will see that you will be able to claim a 1,000 position airdrop. All you have to do is create an account with this link, deposit money, and receive your $1,000 position airdrop. Maxi doesn't require any KYC, so anyone in the entire world can use this exchange and get this airdrop. So don't hesitate, because $1,000 could change your life in a bull run. So before I do my short-term price prediction, let's take a look at the support levels. So we're gonna take a horizontal line here. And what we're seeing is that we here have daily demand levels. So basically we're gonna just take a line here, which basically made a bounce before it, and then take another green line as well and put it at like the bottom of this demand zone, which is here. As you can see, before the big uptrend, what we had was basically a top resistance call, bottom grab and up. So this is basically a very, very nice demand zone. And as you can see, the previous bottom basically bounced from here. So let's make this one green. So this is very important. This is really a very, very nice buying area, like this zone. But I'm not saying that this isn't big either. Like, everything here is incredible. Like, a lot of people always stress about this last 10% drop down. It doesn't matter. It's like here. It doesn't matter if you bought basically for $4.50, $4.10, $5, because it went up anyway. So if you just buy here and DC a little bit to the bottom, your returns are still good. If you went all in here at $5, it's still good. But people are usually more afraid to lose than to win. And that's where stuff gets really nasty. If you're really afraid to lose a lot of money, crypto isn't for you, because 99.9% loses, but we're the 0.1%. So let me draw the resistance level as well. So two things I always draw are the exponential moving average on the 100 and 200 day close. So as you can see, they're getting really close. So let's just say this one here, $7 is the first big resistance. So this is a very important one to flip. And in my opinion, it will be flipped very, very easy. Then we have this one here, which is also a resistance level on the daily. So we're just gonna draw a line here. So this is really easy, red one. And then we got the final one here, which is like at this 10.60. So if this 10.60, as you can see, this is previous resistance as well, gets flipped into support, it's all-time high and much higher. The same thing happened in February. a lot of this was resistance, this was resistance, this was resistance, but in a bull run upwards trend, it doesn't matter. Render will just probably break it. So there's two possibilities for here, because I'm expecting one more FUD news to happen, because everybody likes to FUD nowadays. What we can do is this. We can bounce off this demand zone again, take out these longs, because exchanges are hunting longs. And then from here, I'm not even gonna skip these levels, like they don't really matter anymore, but short term it could get something like this. So if we draw it really quick, get denied, flip support here. So as you can see, there's some previous resistance, 630. This isn't necessary. And then we can do the same thing. This is like the slow way. Go back to 9. Get again support flip here to like $8 and then push through. This is where we need to push through. Just go through 11.8 and then go down. So maybe retest here. So this is like the boring short-term thing. What we want to see is a November-like thing. So just pushing 3 days. This is all resistance. So what we're seeing here is this big resistance from $7. It literally went from 480 through the resistance in 3 days. That's how fast it goes. So this resistance here at 9, or let's even say 10, if it goes the same way like it did in November, it just pushes in 3 days through this resistance. And everybody will be shocked. Everybody who sold here at the bottom will FOMO in, and that's when market makers make the most amount of money. So yeah, these are the resistance levels, really easy. This is a main support area. If you can buy in this range, you're literally buying levels that whales bought. So whales will defend this area. So worst case, we dive deep in this area, but it will be fast. It will go up fast. It will just depend on Bitcoin. Because if Bitcoin just goes to 97 really fast and then up, this will happen with render, but don't be scared. A lot of people are down. This is like 10%, 15% decrease. What does it matter? It's the same like this. Let me draw the lines. Where's the price range as well? So this is the Fibonacci. Let's go price range. This is the same thing. This looked like a really good uptrend. It went down 20% here. Okay, really bad. Everybody was crying. It's done. Render's done. But what people didn't know is that 2 days later it was up, and 20 days later they were still up 130%. So if they didn't do anything, just held, they were up more. But what most people did here, they bought, they sold off, and then they FOMO'd. Do you see this big green candle? They FOMO'd higher. And I'm already seeing people on Twitter saying, Doc, I sold at the bottom, what should I do? Well, that's your decision. You should just DCA back in, because we're at the edge of going higher. And yes, it may seem dead, but it always looks dead at the bottom. I've never seen a bottom during which it's bullish. Have you? This bottom was so bearish. Everybody was done with crypto. The same thing here. Nobody believed August. Nobody believed here. This was the end of crypto. Render is dead. Then in a couple of months, like render went from here, it went plus 250%. So the bottom is always full of FUD. You will never see FUD at the top, because they want retail here to buy as much as possible. You will only see FUD at the bottom. And the more FUD, the lower we go, but the bigger the opportunities will get. So don't get scared of FUD. We're literally about to break a really massive uptrend. So for the short term, this is what I want to see in the next 2-3 weeks. Actually just want to push through this resistance, and once we get through this resistance, it's going to be very, very interesting, because now let's get on with my March price prediction. So in my opinion, we will get the same kind of results, maybe even better than March last year, because March last year wasn't a bull run. So let's first take the Fibonacci here at the top of December, like the other top, go down to the bottom, and as we can see, render went actually to like the Fibonacci 4.618 here, which was like 12.5 and a little massive uptrend because of Bitcoin. But this is a realistic target, the Fibonacci 4.618. So what would that bring us today? So we might go even lower, which would put the Fibonacci higher, here, but let's take a look at how high it can be right now. This is for March. This video is about March pricing at the end of March. So what we're gonna see here is just take the Fibonacci really easy. Last year we did the same. Everybody thought that this bottom render was dead, and then it did a magnificent push. So what would actually 4.618 look like? It's $35. So a really interesting target, which in my opinion render deserves to be reached. But at this bottom it's struggling because a lot of weak holders are selling, making market makers it easier to compound on everybody. And that's something we don't want to see. Also, just for an indication, there's also a higher time frame Fibonacci, which I'm gonna draw really quick because that will be important as well. So let's just draw this from top to bottom. And the ones that are important are the 1.618, which is almost this 2.618, and the 2.618, which is like between this area. So this is a really important area. So I'm gonna draw two more lines here for the March price, which is this $20 is really important. This will be resistance. And of course here we're gonna take this $30. So now we're gonna delete this one. So what I expect in March, once again, really easy. This first area, this needs to break. So we talked about this. We need to flip this 10.4 into support. So how we do it, we can go to all-time high, which is like 13 point something, even go to this 15, even coming from this 15 back to this 10.4 isn't bad, because this could be a liquidity grab. And then from here on, maybe test this 20, go to this 30, get denied on the 30, really quick liquidity grab. Basically the liquidity grab we had in last year March, come to 20, and then from 20 all the way up to like 35 over and higher. And this is what I see for March. Like in the bull run of 2021, the bull run top wasn't in March for altcoins. Like a lot of alts pushed through April as well to like mid-May. So it could be higher for render as well. But noticing that a lot of weak holders are selling and pressuring down this price, something I really don't like to see, just shows me that maybe the price wouldn't be as high as it could be. Like it got dumped harder than it should be, but it got dumped as well in November. It got dumped in January 2024. But this is now the realistic zone which we're talking about for March. And of course, hopefully we'll update this 10.5 quick, because once we reach this 10.5, we switch this resistance area, which was resistance here as well, into support. We can easily talk about higher targets. Until then, it's not guessing, but it's kind of guessing, because we have still resistance levels. We need to see how render pushes through here, but this in my opinion can happen really fast, just like I shown you in November, where it took 3 days, just 3 days to push through all this resistance, which would be the same from here, just going straight to 11. That's how powerful render can be. That's how strong the top AI coin can be. So ignore the FUD. DeepSeek is not pushing away render. Operating costs for AI will always be needed. So stop listening to FUD and just buy the dips. This is not financial advice, but I'm heavily buying this dip. I'm not backing down, and I will probably be very happy at the end of March. So I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Be sure to like this video if you did. Also follow me at TheRealDoc on Twitter to know when I talk about render, crypto, bullish news, selling targets, buying targets, and much more. Also follow me on Telegram, which is my Doc Crypto Lounge. It's a free group. I do copy trading as well. As you can see, in the last 30 days I had 22 winning trades and 0 losing trades. I really want to help my followers to even make money in a bad month. So yeah, top of the description and the pinned comment to join my free Telegram. Subscribe to my YouTube channel for more crypto content and YouTube. Until next time.